And we're coming back, and we're working on the lip sync. In case you're watching and the lip sync is off, let us know. You can call us here at the station, 831-375-1919. We're working on it right now. Mr. Dillon is trying to figure out what happened to our lip sync. But doesn't mean you can't watch. You can just, the mouth and the talking, the voices sometimes don't match. But that's digital.
That happens to me in real life.
This is Steve Poletti, and Steve has a company here in Monterey called Poletti Real Estate, brokered by EXP. Now, what does EXP stand for?
Well, EXP is the name of a real estate company. Now, it's an international company. It's probably the fastest growing real estate company in the history of real estate. So we're now in, I think, 20 countries. Ooh. And maybe nearing 90,000 agents. It's the first all-in-the-cloud real estate company.
All in the cloud. Now, explain to me how that works.
Well, they've decided that there's a lot of money in brick and mortar. Yes. You've got to pay leases. You've got to pay employees to show up and so forth. We've got over 1,000 employees, but they all operate remotely, most from people from their own homes and so on and so forth. So basically that allows them to charge us a lot less money for all the things that they do for us and all the great tools that they have. And
so how long have you been in real estate?
I knew you would ask me that question. This is my 50th year in the business, and that's hard to do when you're only...
You don't look that old.
I know, that's hard to do when you're only 39. Yeah,
What's that on the screen now? What do we got here?
I don't know what that was.
Was that the camera talking to us? Anyway, it's live TV. Anything can happen. Sorry I interrupted.
That's
okay.
I
saw that pop on the screen. So 50 years in the real estate business, all in Monterey?
Oh, no. I started in South Lake Tahoe. And I finished college, and I went to ski, and I leased a house from a broker. And obviously he took my information and saw that I was a graduate and had a degree in finance. And he said, why don't you get a real estate license? And I said, that sounds real interesting. So I took my test, got into the business, and had a couple of great mentors. And
always helps.
Yeah, it was fantastic, and took to it right away, and been in it ever since.
Here's a question. South Lake Tahoe is California. State line is Nevada.
Correct.
Could you sell real estate in state line, or did you have to get a Nevada license?
You need a Nevada license.
You do. Yeah. So what was more lucrative at that point in time for you, selling in California or selling in Nevada?
Well, since I never sold in Nevada, then, but real estate was very active back in the 70s, and it was a lot of fun. I really took to it, and of course, then I think I told you earlier that I took 13 years off to make my fame and fortune as an actor in L.A.
See, that's what caught my ear. The day we met over at Little Napoli during the AT&T, he was in there, and we were kibitzing, as they say, sitting around, and he said he was an actor, and I said, "Oh, really? Tell me about that."
Well, I had been acting since I was a kid, and
Me too.
And out of high school, I got a full tuition scholarship to American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco.
Wow.
But I didn't go. I was a little intimidated. I grew up in rural Stockton, and I thought about going to San Francisco. And I went to my dad. I said, "Dad, what do you think?" And he says, "Well, gosh, if you don't become a star, what are you going to do? You're going to teach drama?" And I don't want to teach drama. And he said, "Well, why don't you get a business degree first and then fall back on it?" And so I got my business. I got my degree. And but then I did a musical in my hometown of Stockton, which was Guys and Dolls, and I played Sky Masterson.
I remember that.
And
are you a singer too?
I'm a singer. I am a singer, and I do local theater in Carmel for Pacific Repertory Theater. Done a lot of shows there. In fact, my entire family my former wife and my 3 kids have all been
In the
performers. Yeah.
Now, do you ever go over to Mission Ranch and sing at the piano bar?
Every time my mother would come to town and visit from Stockton, she would force me to go sing at the Mission Ranch.
I love going to the Mission Ranch and singing my one song. So we have to get together. You sing one, I'll sing one.
That sounds fair.
At the Mission Ranch.
Sure.
Yeah, because it's fun. You know, that piano bar there, sometimes with Gennady, who's there most of the time. And it's such a great atmosphere to go to Mission Ranch. And every once in a while, you know, everybody says, I wonder if Clint's going to show up. But I haven't seen him there. So
every now and then he does.
That's what I heard.
He does
peeks
pop in.
But someone told me that he sits with his back to the door, so no one can see him sitting over there by the sidebar. So anyway, singer, huh?
Yeah.
Actor, and then real estate.
Yes.
How many years in real estate? 50 in real estate?
50th. I started in 1974.
Wow.
So 50th year.
Now, when we were sitting at Little Napoli, the small world, Bob Estrada was sitting with me, and we found out that Steve and Bob were both from Stockton years ago.
That's right. That's right.
In fact, you went to the same. You were born at the same hospital.
We went to different schools together.
Okay, but same hospital. You were born in
Damro Hospital. I think that's right. That's right. I think he went to Lincoln or Stagg, and I was a graduate of St. Mary's High School.
Yeah, so. Bob's been a guest on our show here.
Yeah, fun guy.
Yeah,
fun guy.
And you know what? Because we have a connection. Because I'm a Fresno guy. Got here 15, 17 years ago. And Bob's still, he's like me, back and forth to Fresno, because I go back once a month for a few days. That's where our corporate office is located. But I love living here on the Monterey Peninsula.
I sure do too. And if any of you want to live here as well, I know a good broker you can talk to.
Yeah, this guy here. How do they find you? Is there a phone number, a web page, email address?
Yeah, there's actually my web address is Monterey PeninsulaRealEstate.com. Monterey PeninsulaRealEstate.com.
That's a pretty good one.
And my last name is Poletti. Sounds like spaghetti, so you can't forget that.
Poletti.
One L, 2 T's. That's
one L Poletti. That must be
Poletti.
Italian. Are you Italiano?
Northern Italian, right on the Swiss border. Just 30 kilometers south of San Moritz.
Oh, you're way up there.
Yeah.
See,
right
my relatives all came from the Bari area, down about halfway.
Okay.
Bari, Provincia di Bari. That's the area. So they would say, "Oh, you're Barese." That's how they. Yeah. And you're Napolitano. No, you're not Napolitano because
I don't know what they
call it. Yeah.
If my sister's watching, I'm sorry, I'm not representing this right, but she actually went to school. I have 3 sisters and a brother, and the oldest girl went to school for a year in Florence and learned Italian, and then came back and was an Italian teacher in high school for many, many years.
Let me tell you, my dream was, Steve, to go to Rome and go to school and spend a whole year living in Rome and learning to speak Italian.
Did you do that?
Didn't get it done. You think it's too late?
It's never too late. It's never too late. Yeah, the only words I know are some cuss words.
Now, you know what's really interesting is because of technology today, we could move this show to Italy, and we could do this show live from Rome every Sunday night. Now, it'd have to be 4 o'clock in the morning when I would do the show, so you guys could see it here at 6. But I might do that. And then I would start learning to speak Italian, and then I could do half of the show in Italian and half of the show in English.
And live from Rome, there is Gary Morris.
Tonight with Gary Morris.
I love it. That's great.
Anyway, you can dream, what the heck.
What a wonderful place to do it in. One of my favorite places in Italy was Positano on the Amalfi Coast.
Yeah.
I drove through 10 countries back in 81 with my girlfriend. And we went all through Italy. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I visited Rome when I was very young and drove all through Italy and just had a wonderful time.
They had cars?
They had Yeah, way back then they did. Yeah, actually it was.
I'm just kidding you.
It could have been a horse and buggy, but yeah. I like this guy. He's funny. Yeah. But anyway, Steve, anything you want to say out there to anybody watching?
Well, actually, I wanted to say that one of the things that I'm doing is a client of mine who is starting up a company called Heviatech.
All right.
And he takes crumb rubber. You take automobile tires,
Yeah.
and you chop it up into crumb, and
Yeah.
then his patented systems make all kinds of wonderful things: telephone poles,
Wow.
marina poles, and piers,
Oh my goodness.
pavers, and everything. And it's less effect on the environment, and it's much cheaper than the typical
Beautiful.
process. So we're just getting this company off the
Beautiful.
ground.
I love it. What's it called again?
Heviatech.
How did he come up with that name?
You know, I'm going to have to ask him that. Mark, tell me what.
Heviatech.
Heviatech.
Is there a website for it?
I think it's heviatech.com.
Let me look here.
we
can pull it up here. How do you spell it?
Heveatek. Heviatech.
Heveatek. Heviatech. There it is. Heviatech. Oh, protected site. What's
Well,
that? You need a password. To
there
get
you
in.
go. There you go. Because he's got these patents. We're just getting the company
Oh,
off the
wow.
ground.
Well,
and I'm thrilled.
Heveatek. You can get a hold of Steve. Steve, give him your cell phone number.
My phone number is 831-236-7161. 831-236-7161.
That's easy. 7161
Yeah.
236-7161. Steve Poletti, and you can reach him, and you can ask him about Heviatech and how they're grinding up tires and making things out of tires. Are they selling stock in this company yet?
It's just getting started. So we're
I
looking-
like to be in the ground floor.
Well, you are, and you're going to be one of our angel investors.
Hey, there you go.
know that.
Well, I know
you.
all about that. I know all about the angel investors because I have a guy who started a company, venture capital, using venture capital called Local BTV. And what Local BTV is, you can go to your phone and you can go to the App Store and you can go into Local BTV. Here, in fact, I'll show you how it works. Local, LOCAL, BTV. There it is.
Okay.
Okay, and then when it comes up, it's right here. Watch live local TV, and what you can do now. That one's going to load Fresno, but we're in Monterey.
Yeah.
But it's for all markets.
Wow.
So in Monterey, you could watch the Monterey TV stations on your phone by having the app for Local BTV, and he's raising money for this via just like you guys are.
Yeah.
With Heviatech. So, there's so much going on today. Technology is absolutely
It's
amazing.
unbelievable.
Many years ago, we did this show over on Garden Road 13 years ago, Monterey on Tonight, with Gary and Jules then. Now it's Gary Morris. And we didn't have the ability to stream live. All we had was the coverage here in Monterey and Comcast cable. And that was it.
This is amazing. I mean,
this
literally.
now, and you'll be able to have, you asked me about it, you're going to have the link to this show on our archive page, Monterey at kmbytv.com archives, and you'll be able to send the link to anybody anywhere in the world, and they can watch this show.
Isn't that amazing? Absolutely amazing.
Unbelievable. It blows my mind. It really does.
It is.
And
It's
I've been in this
fascinating.
business now a long time, and the ability to be able to do that changes everything.
It really does.
So what you're going to do now for me is in your office, you're going to have a TV screen in your office, and every day when people walk in, if there is an office, and they're going to see
do
you
have
and
one,
me,
actually.
and you're going to see you and me on the screen talking about what we're talking about tonight, and it'll loop. So you can say, oh, you want to see the night I was on Monterey on Tonight? Look, with Gary Morris, there we are.
Perfect. Yeah, we've got a couple big screen TVs in our office. We're located on Webster Street in Monterey.
You are?
261 Webster Street.
261 Webster. I'll have to stop by. Now that's in downtown Monterey, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And how long have you had that office?
Well, we took it over from another company that decided they didn't want the office.
Okay.
And
that's always a good deal.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful office. So please come and visit us. We'll take good care of you.
What's the sign say out?
EXP.
EXP. Do people want to know what EXP is when they see the sign?
Well, I don't know that it has any particular. It might. Let's call it exponential.
Okay.
If you want.
I like that.
Yeah. For exponential growth.
Yeah. Well, it's great to have you here tonight, Steve. Thank you for coming in. It was great that we met over at Little Napoli,
Indeed.
Chef Pepe's place, and that was a fun night.
It was. It was
Yeah,
my pleasure. I really appreciate you having me.
Well, Bruce and I were sitting there and started talking with you, and I found out that you guys were from Stockton, and we go, what a small world.
Isn't it?
It's amazing. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to stop by and take a look at your office.
Please do.
Thank you for being
Thank
here
you so
tonight.
much.
Okay. Let's get back to Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons right here on Monterey on tonight. Here's more music, and watch the skaters. They're great.